Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EIZO Holiday Brawl. We've already got a bit of an upset going on here in the first semifinals of the day. We'll see if this gets turned around, but at the moment, he's on his last life. He's on the verge of being knocked out in 3rd/4th place. Ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom central portion of the map, if you want to see more impact, you better cheer really freaking hard. It's the blue Zerg player from Axiom. Give it up for impact.
Never right, as the red Protoss. Millennium's Lilbow.
And I'm just going to take a step into reality, guys. I'm fully aware nobody sits here armchair watching Starcraft 2 and starts yelling and cheering and hollering in real life. But for like the one guy out there, or girl, who does, you're really awesome. But in all seriousness, though, Impact was the guy who came into the series. Like, we talked about him like being prepared for as an opponent. But I guess no matter how prepared you are, sometimes you do face what is the power of Protoss. And I don't mean this in a balanced discussion way, but I mean, we saw Lilbow not exploit, but more like take advantage of every strength his race had to offer. The force field on the ramp, diving through, baiting Impact to the wrong base. So many cool things happened for how gross and disgusting it was.
Yeah. You know, like, we cast other Protosses, and we're like, you know, I like, on Catalina, for instance, and I see those Rogers up on that 3rd, and I'm like, just block off the ramp. And then a lot of them don't. And I'm like, huh. Maybe there was a reason why. Every single time I think like that, Lilbow actually does it. And I'm like, huh, he could probably just go up into the main and force float it off. Lilbow does it. And then it's really, really effective, so.
You know, that actually, it really reminded me of watching players like Arthur do that warp prism tactic. But instead, he just marched his whole army up there.
Right, exactly, yeah. But always, like, I know we have talked about, like, you know, like, what if he, like, he's probably not gonna do it, but what if he just, like, went right into the natural and force float it off? And most of them don't, but Lilbow does. Like, he has a mind charging ahead. He has confidence in himself or his race, either one. Both?
Well,
yeah.
I think the thing I'm being taken aback by a little bit is Impact not really, this sounds silly to say, but not going queen heavy. It's something we've seen him do in the past against a lot of Terrans and select Protoss players. And to great success, those transfuses have kicked ass. They win in fights on Foxtrot Labs where he, like, shouldn't win. I mean, Impact, I don't know, feels like it's not fully his best day, I guess to say.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't count him out yet, guys. He's still got a chance to get back into this. He's got to win 3 games in a row if he wants to make it to the finals. But at the same time, maybe he doesn't want to fight what is potentially Gumiho. I don't know.
Anything but that.
All jokes aside, we do, of course, have Gumiho versus Hearthstone coming up next, guys. And that's another series where I think our foreign hope guy is going to have a bit of an edge. Hearthstone, let's not forget, is living in North America right now, so we'll be playing on the North American servers. And more so, he's really good PvT, so.
Yeah.
Talk about that match more, of course, once we get to it. For now, though, Lilbow just setting up his natural base. Nothing too crazy just yet. He's dumping a couple chronos into those warp gates, so I don't know if this will be for a big all-in or not, but a couple more gateways are coming down at the front for the time being.
And the 4th one. Okay, so it's going to be at least a 4-gate. And this is very easily scouted with a Ling. And the Impact's usually pretty good about actually scouting the front with a Ling. Some Zergs just, you know, they figure the Legend Core's going to be there, so they won't go up there, and they miss out on like really important buildings. But no, he sees it.
Yeah, all 3 revealed. And of course, you're always going to assume there's one in the main. Nobody just pylons down here, low grounds, first pylon, and puts the gateways up front. So he's going to Impact be fully aware that there's 4-gate potential coming his way. This, of course, puts a little bit of hesitation on the 3rd. He did have the money for it, but chose to make 16 links instead.
Oh, wow. Really looking to deny the pylon here, which is a very, like, it's just kind of easy. Yeah, I was going to go with Eevee, but definitely important move to just stopping a 4-gate or any all-in really just right in its tracks. If you have to warp in from your base, it's so much less powerful.
Well, with Metabolic Boost, he'll certainly have control of the map. I do like that he's left with a lot of lings roaming about too, because this is actually one of the times, though, I don't think this will work out the way I think Impact wants it to. A lot of the times we see Protoss players so heavily dependent on those pylons for the big all-ins, but 2 games now we've seen Lilbow just strut out of the base. No pylons necessary. Go for the poke, recall, come back round 2 with that all-in.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about the King Sajon game where he got like the farthest away proxy, quote-unquote, pylon he could have, and still made it work. And Merry-Go-Round actually isn't that big of a map, you know, base to base. It's
yeah, pretty short rush distances.
Yeah.
Well, just so we get a bit of a lull, waiting for the action to pick up. $5 donation coming from the Librarians. This is a few bucks for Rifkin. Shout out to Gina and FG for their New Year's 24-hour stream, and Kitty the Neko from officially head of Kitty Fan Club. All right, thank you very much for that message, sir. Ling's starting to run around, though. They do see the army leave, so he starts slamming into the wall, but Lilbow could turn around and deal with this. It's not that far gone yet.
Good. Okay. Well, I mean, he forced a couple reinforcements back there, which is always nice, and he will be able to have like a back attack that can take care of the pylons that are going to go down. Although, like you said, he just pushes out with a probe.
Yeah, this is actually, I really don't know any other Protoss players I can think of that do this. This is such a unique to Lilbow type move, but when you think about it, objectively speaking, it's not that big of a deal, yet it works quite well.
I didn't realize this is off of one gas, but he slaps down all 3 gases, so obviously he's like, you know, it is a dedicated attack, and if it was just like completely like shoved aside, that is bad, but, you know, if he can recall most of the sentries with the zealots out, then it's actually pretty good no matter what.
Not a lot of force fields necessary. One more to lock in those roaches. The Zealot's going to try and shred them to bits. Sentries are going to get picked off on the backside. It's a little unfortunate, but he doesn't go for the recall. He's feeling confident in his position. The roaches are slow
he can't lose the militia corps though.
Will he though? I mean,
okay, actually,
the Zealots are pretty dangerous on that front line.
This
is going poorly for Impact very quickly. Yeah. Those force fields were so nicely placed. Another queen goes down. Mothership Corps just barely lives through all of this.
God. Okay, he's good.
No recall necessary. He's gonna walk home.
Yeah, he even saves a sentry. Just like that one. Okay. Well, he's going into a forge and a Twilight Council. Huh.
Followed up with standard Blink Stalkers. I mean.
Yeah, but Blink Stalker all in or like a third? Which is like my question right now.
So Impact gave chase for this, and in the process of doing so, started droning up. I actually kind of like that move. He knows he's not going to kill Lilbow with this attack. But the idea is that it stops Lilbow from attacking, giving Impact that breathing room to get the layer, to get those drones out. But the problem is he has to trade this out as best he can, because these roaches are going to die. So it picks off a couple of sentries on the right side. Starting to actually weed out a lot of those zealots now. There's only sentries remaining. This Mothership Corps, the damage from above won't be stopped. So I mean, Lilbow's not in danger of dying, but he's in danger of taking too much damage.
Yeah. He still saved all of the sentries, but yeah, there was a lot of zealots that went down there. I think with the Corona boost, it is going to be a Blink Stalker then after this. Yeah, okay, 2 gateways are also still down. Alright, that makes sense. I think Impact knows this, though. He hasn't gotten a good eye on the Twilight Count. No, he did, just barely. I guess that Overlord ducked in there. So just seeing the Twilight Council is enough, I think, for him. Well, and the 2 gateways.
Well, I like that he went for the Burrow. I think that's a really good move, because we always see that shut down like a lot of all-ins. But at the same time, this layer, like, I'm not sure I love the positioning on this. I feel like this is so vulnerable out here. Oh,
yeah, I don't like the third position either. But yeah, I love the Burrow. That's like, you know, he sees the gateways, he sees the Twilight Council. Definitely get Burrow, but it is a third. I don't know how heavily he'll, like, you know, probe this up. Maybe he'll still do an attack and have this kind of, like, you know, just not mining. Or maybe he is actually just going to expand off of this.
Expanding wouldn't be a bad idea. The fact that he started his forge so late means the +2, even if fully chronoed out, will be really delayed. And Blink Stalker +1 just really doesn't have that same kick to it, because you're not going for those upgrades because you want the bonus damage versus armor. You need the base damage increase to shoot the Lings, to shoot the Queens, to shoot the Hydralisks.
It's true.
Oh, these poor roaches don't quite have speed just yet, so they're gonna waddle to their death. Oh, but the Burrow! Surprise!
Yeah, this might alert him to get a bit of a faster robo, though. That's like one thing he is missing out on as a detection. He was mindful of getting a cannon, you know, just for pure defense, but of course, if that goes down, that is his only detection.
Yeah. I was really expecting to see a Hydralisk then come out, by the way, with this layer tech. I don't think Roach Speed was a bad choice, but I mean, knowing that it's been gateway after gateway after gateway attack, I'm really surprised we didn't see Impact put more emphasis on Hydralisk. But the Roach attack on the other side of the map is going to have to deal with these Zealots. They should be able to kite them away a little bit, but how much attention can Impact dedicate to this side of the field when there's a big Protoss army with a lot of force fields right outside of his base? Okay for the Concave to start. Blink Stalker's starting to make sure they don't take that damage as they blink backwards before the shields expire. And Impact, he's still got a lot of units. I'll give him that much.
Yeah. But it was like, yeah, that was like a pressure, right? Like, okay, he doesn't have that many probes, and it's not really a mining third, but it is a third, and if he can go back and get some good defensive position, he can hold on versus just roaches. And in fact, takes a rather good force field. Oh, actually, I thought I was going to get more roaches to blink forward, but still is going to be able to go home. That's what's important.
Obviously, your dies, that kind of sucks. A lot of scouting information now denied. A couple of the roaches did sneak out to burrow. They were scuffling and tangling while this went on, but Impact's army supply getting pretty big, starting to eclipse Lilbow's by a large margin, and those force fields are gone. There's all those entries are dry.
Time warp or cannon? Oh, there we go.
There's the cannon. The problem is, though, Impact could start doing some burrow micro if he really wanted to make this super cost effective, but even if he doesn't, as long as he takes out the sentries, he really takes away any power of a counterattack from Lilbow.
Yeah, it is about those sentries. But he made the same, like, move on Overgrowth. I think it's a little bit different. He's taking on more of the army, and the game obviously started a little bit different. But it's like, the roaches for the sentries, is it worth it? How fast is the counterattack going to be, and how powerful is it going to be? I don't think it's very powerful at all, actually, with the 22 more lings on the way, too. I don't think he's going to be able to break Impact here.
I do kind of wish Impact would burrow his roaches and heal him up, though. A lot of these guys are in the red, and it's kind of scary. He lost his counterattack potential. I think that was the biggest thing. Those 5 roaches over here were, they were forcing Warpins at home defensively. They forced Lilbow to pay a little bit more attention away from the other side of the map, and I think that's why Impact was able to chase him back so easily. I do like that he's segmenting off a counterattack yet again, because without this, I really don't think he just A moves versus A move and wins. Lilbow's going to take that every time. Just, hashtag Protoss.
Right. But he's getting those Hydras, so he's finally having like a bit of a difference in composition. Luckily, or well, wisely, Lilbow did get that Observer first.
Well, there's the Hydralisk then we've been waiting on for so long. It's not like it's not as simple as just slapping this down. The Hydralisks themselves are pretty expensive. You need a decent amount of roaches or lings in front of them to kind of buffer their health, become an extension of that Hydralisk. But now that these are in play, he's going to have a little bit of extra damage. He can shoot over the force fields a little more easily, and Lilbow's Blink Stalker army is not going to just walk all over Impact like we've seen in the previous few games.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, no sentries. Once the Blink starts to blink back, the Immortals are going down real fast.
Oh, hole in the wall.
Counterattack. Yep, that probe was not going to hold position in time.
No, it slips through with a lot of those lings. A small mistake out of Lilbow is going to cost him quite a bit here in the natural. Probes are being pulled. I like this evacuation technique, but by running the probes away and fighting with the ones in the main, you're losing a lot of mining one way or the other.
Yeah, actually, Lilbow's just going to give up the Nexus. He's going for the attack.
Yeah, this isn't even a big dedication from Impact where he needs to pull these back home. The Zerglings are so, I don't know, objectively useless most of the time. So this counterattack they're pulling off right now is really, really, really nice. But here's the army on the other side of the map. Time Warp does go down. Remember, guys, there's no force fields. There's no Guardian Shield. The Mothership Core gets sniped immediately. Lots of Queens available for impacts. We got some transfuses going out. Trying to keep these roaches alive a little bit longer as the last Immortal falls. He can start reinforcing our roaches again if he wants to. So many Hydras just shredding these Stalkers, and Impact has still dealt a lot of damage in the main. 25 probes died behind this.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold.
He finally took out all of the roaches. If only, like, a few sentries, a few force fields could have really made a difference there. He survives with barely any Stalkers left, but Impact is on a 4th base. Does Lilbow even know that? He doesn't.
No vision of that whatsoever. But that being said, it's not like he could do anything about it. His army supply dipped so hard. Impact actually burrowed the lings to keep them alive in the main, so Lilbow may have thought, oh, my auto-attacking zealots dealt with this while I was busy fighting and focusing on the other side of the map, but that's not the case, so they unburrow, they go for the Nexus, they're going to get this one, they could probably finish off the other, and all these gateways are on Chrono Boost cooldown right now, so Impact's got double the army supply, he's got no upgrades going for him, that kind of sucks, but if you've got enough army, you can brute force your way through this.
Yeah. Going towards the ramp again. He has a couple of force fields now, but it's not a big enough army.
Not enough, certainly not. And Impact brings it back, ladies and gentlemen. He will not fall to the floor, not in a 3-0 fashion. And, well, series now going to be 2-1. Alright, guys, we're not going to bombard you with 2 minutes of ads or anything, but we're going to play the second EIZO ad really quick while we hop into this next lobby, so stick with us. We'll be back in about 30 seconds with the next game, which will be on Deadwing. So see you guys in a sec.